Before we get into our preview of the Cowboys and the Falcons coming up on Friday night, like the video. The Cowboys obviously are winless so far in the preseason. If you want the Cowboys to actually get a preseason win, then like the video. We have not yet gotten 800 likes on this preview video. The previous 2 times we've done it for the other preseason matchups. Maybe if we get 10 this time, they'll win. That approves it. More likes equals more wins. So like the video if you haven't already done so. It is preseason week 3 as the Falcons come to town against the Dallas Cowboys. Curious how these lines ends up changing as we move forward and beyond, but it could be a good matchup. I was going to say somebody has to win, but ties do exist in the preseason. And I can't think of anything else worse in life than having a tie in a preseason game. So maybe somebody gets one. Somebody will not lose for the first time this preseason. By the way, old friend Ben DiNucci expected to play for the Falcons. They're banged up, not going to play their key starters. So we'll get to see Nucci Main back in the preseason, back in AT&T Stadium. Joe Milton and the backups will once again be the lead focus for the Cowboys. And that's my number one thing to watch for actually in this game, is how the quarterbacks fare. Specifically Joe Milton, but not just Joe Milton. We'll talk about Will Grier here. Milton hasn't been good enough. We all know that. It has been the Joe Milton experience, as some of us tried to warn you about, has been really inconsistent and at times outright bad. Most of the time, outright bad. The arm is there, the mobility is there, the upside is there, but he has not figured it out yet. He has not put it all together. Can he do it in the 3rd preseason game? That'd be cool. I wonder how much, if any, of Will Grier we end up getting in this matchup. With a verdict that I suspect is coming from the top, Cowboys say they're going to play Joe Milton and they're going to keep him out there because they know what they have in Will Grier, which I don't know if I actually believe that. And they want to see what they have in Joe Milton, which is fair, but there's also a bunch of other players that I want to see what I have in, and I wonder if Will Grier gives me a better chance to do that right now. I hope Joe Milton plays well. That is my number one hope for this game beyond no one gets hurt, obviously. But if he doesn't play well, at some point you do need to get the ball to Will Grier and see if he can be your backup QB, or else it's going to be a dicey season, potentially, if those guys have to play. So pick a backup QB for me. JM for Joe Milton, WG for Will Grier. Let me know in the comments section of today's show, the pinned comment, which guy would you rather have as the Cowboys' backup QB. Number 2 thing to watch for, is it going to be another slow start from the Cowboys? This was a point of emphasis last week under Brian Schottenheimer. And the answer was, actually it was worse. First quarter against the Rams, the Cowboys had 1 yard. First quarter against the Ravens, the Cowboys had -5 yards. It's the preseason, I know, but that's bad because you were playing better players and they still couldn't get anything going. And I would almost be inclined to blame the coaching. I get you're being vanilla. You're hitting your 7-iron to stick with Brian Schottenheimer's analogy, but it doesn't matter if you're taking less than driver off the tee to be conservative if you're missing the fairway. If you're hitting 7-iron and you slice one into the pond, that's actually worse than just hitting driver. So they got to be better, on offense especially. The defense was better, only 95 yards allowed, plus a pick 6. They still allowed a lot of points in the end, and I would be, if you're bad in the 3rd and 4th quarter when the 3rd stringers are in, I'm actually not that bothered by it in the preseason, but they do need to be better. So I'm kind of challenging Brian Schottenheimer. You don't have to play, you don't have to call your best plays, that's fine, but even if you're going hat on a hat preseason stuff, you should be able to have success. Your offensive line is good. You've got good players along the depth of your offensive line. It's not just the quarterback, which is what Schottenheimer said. If you can't get the guys that are fighting for jobs going in the preseason, are you going to have them ramped up, ready to go for the regular season? I don't want to overreact to preseason football, but these are things that you file away and go, okay, let's see how it looks in the games that matter. Today's show is made possible by our good friends over at Chubbies. Summer is winding down. There is still time to let the dogs out, though. And by dogs, we do mean your legs. Before it's all sweats and jeans and slacks, set your legs free with the lined swim collection from Chubbies, or the original stretch shorts. They come in long, short, waist short, with a relaxed fit, elastic waistband, and no fuss design. Pair them with the performance polo. I am a big fan of those polos. I am a golfer, so I like the polo look in general. Brunch, backyard, golf course, obviously. They got a structured collar that stays sharp, 4-way stretch for comfort. Breathable and moisture-wicking fabric keeps you cool and looking pulled together. So they're suiting up for cannonballs, cookouts, casual Fridays, the links. Chubbies has you covered. For a limited time, they're giving you $10 off your order with code CHATSPORTS at chubbyshorts.com/chatsports. That's code CHATSPORTS at chubbyshorts.com/chatsports. Support our show. Let them know we sent you. Go ahead and give summer one last hurrah and keep the good vibes going with Chubbies. Link will be in the comment section and the description of today's show. That's chatsports.com, chubbyshorts.com/chatsports. Number 3, what to watch for. Are there any depth chart changes actually this time? Schottenheimer said, Trayshawn Holden's going to move up the depth chart. And then he was still the last wide receiver in, so I guess he actually didn't. Is that just coach speak? Does anybody move up the defensive tackle depth chart rotation? Does Jay Toia, Perion Winfrey get in there sooner beyond just rotation reps in terms of the defensive tackle rotation? How does the cornerback room look? Is it Zion Childress or Keemon Hall with the ones at nickel? That could go a long way, plus how they play, to determining who makes the roster in one of those last cornerback spots. Is it Andrew Booth? Where does Izzy McQuambu play? I think that stuff matters. The wide receivers I kind of mentioned with Trayshawn Holden. Does he move up? Or does he just get stashed in this one? Give me your score prediction between the Cowboys and the Falcons. Let me know in the comment section of today's show. Predict the score of the Cowboys against the Falcons. Number 4, what to watch for? Who gets the carries and when? I don't think you're going to see Javonte Williams play in this matchup. I do want to see what the outlook looks like for everyone else. Lipke is, fullback, whatever, tight end, H-back, does it all. Miles Sanders, Jaden Blue is set to play, which I'm extremely excited about. Well, Malik Davis probably doesn't matter. He's not going to be the team. I want to see Jaden Blue have some fun, get some reps, look explosive. Give me some hope. Give me some optimism about him in the backfield. I want to see if Miles Sanders fares better. He wasn't good last week. I don't think his vision was particularly good, which does matter for backs. Phil Maffa, you guys don't like it, and I get it. He's working behind Deuce Vaughn still. Until he works ahead of Deuce Vaughn on the depth chart, if your roster projections have Maffa over Vaughn, I don't think that's how the Cowboys are operating. I'm not saying I agree with it, but that is how they've actually operated, that Deuce Vaughn is ahead of Phil Maffa. Now, I wonder if any of those guys are good enough to make your roster. Frankly, they can all get down to the practice squad. But that type of stuff does matter to me because the order they go in should be the actual depth chart order. So who scores the first touchdown in this one for the Cowboys? Let me know in the comments section of today's show. I don't think anyone had Rivaldo Fairweather and Andrew Booth in back-to-back weeks. I don't think that was a very popular prediction, if we're being quite honest. So let me know who you think ends up being the first Cowboy to score a touchdown. All right, next up, number 5. Can anyone force their way onto the roster? Can anyone wow and justify their spot? Can Trayshawn Holden earn it? Can one of the running backs earn it? Can a surprise linebacker like a Justin Barron, is one of the edges look so good they just have to keep him on the team? That's the type of stuff that you have to question and wonder. So number 5 for me is, can anyone wow and showcase that we can't afford to cut them? In part because it's been kind of bad outside of Andrew Booth and maybe Keemon Hall last week. I don't know if anyone's done that yet. There's been some flashes, some good plays, good runs, good catches, but nothing goes, yeah, this guy's got to be on there. We will be live for the Cowboys against the Falcons, so if you haven't already, hit that sub button. YouTube.com/@CowboysTV. Free Cowboys videos each and every single day, plus watch parties. Final thing, I know it's boring. It's kind of tough to even notice in the moment. You almost have to go back and watch. Special teams usage. Ryan Flanoy got more special teams run. Phil Maffa got some more special teams run. Don't know how good Maffa was on special teams, though. Those last couple roster spots so often come down to special teams. Can you contribute? Can you not contribute? If those guys make some plays happen, or downside they allow some plays to happen on a negative point, those could be deciding factors in those final few roster spots.